Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's the Diablos going up against the Steelers. So with that, let's get right out to the stadium. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis have the call on this Week 4 matchup.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between our visitors and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Let's go!
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A gain of 3, second down. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
Second down following the run. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The offensive line and its ability to open holes in this defensive front, something they were confident they could create in this game. Got the job done there, picked up the first.
And something they wanted to do. Have we ever met offensive linemen that don't want to fire out and hit people? I mean, they love the running game. Guys want to do that. And when you emphasize it, practice it, and work on it, that gives you an opportunity during the game.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Time here to show you the starters while we have a moment defensively for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know one guy you like from Miami, Artie Burns.
Just jumps off the screen when you plug in his college tape in terms of athleticism. And I also watched him play with some intelligence. Saw him at one point jump into the slot and pattern read and come up with his receiver to the intended one and intercept a pass. I like him.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
Hogan now. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. This offense has some speed, and certainly Martavis Bryant, he has some speed.
He has that, and he has size. That's what makes him so difficult to cover, because just when you think you have to play him one way, the other attribute kicks in. Martavis Bryant could be an all-star real soon.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, Their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. And we take a look at the starting lineup defensively.
If your day involves blocking Danny Shelton, you better pack lunch and dinner. It's an all-day job.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. The gun now on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. They were looking that time to get it to Justin Hardy, and it brings up 4th down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
This is taken around the 12. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12.
Let's go!
Now Hogan. And incomplete. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
So they're behind the chains as the offense. 12 yards needed on 3rd down.
Back down to that Philly. Here we go. All right, here we go. Green, Detroit! Detroit! Back down to that Philly. Here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. They go play action here on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted. I don't know about you, partner, but I just came out of my chair. Big-time run right there, and all of a sudden I realized...
Didn't reach the chains, did he?
How do you go that far? Create that type of an explosive play that'll be a check and a plus on every grade sheet and still not get a 1st down.
Yeah, they had put themselves in a bad spot, but a big gain, that helps. Going right side here, and that's complete. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. they'll throw here out of the gun. He sets to fire deep. And it's caught. Touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers' offense now, they head back onto the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
10 yards still left on second down. They come out here in the eye. On second down, it's Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2.
Hurry up, here we go. Clean, over.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And that brings up 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
Defending an out route is awfully difficult because the best receivers try and sell an inside move before they break to the out, and you have to respect that as a defensive guy because if you let them, what they say, cross your face or get across you in the middle of the field, usually you're beaten on a route, and that's an easier throw for the quarterback. So you ordinarily take a step over to make sure you seal that off. In this case, he was able to not only do that, but react back to the sideline and bat the ball down.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! Set! 3-19!
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Out to his left. Now he's going to let it go. And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll look to throw now on first down. Now they go screen. It's complete. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
A give to Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential, but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back, but now I've got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including breaking tackles.
But at the time, 2nd-round pick in 2013, some people probably wishing they'd taken him in the 1st. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Bell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
5 yards to gain here on 3rd down.
Here we go now. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. In a 3-4 defense there and against the run, a lot of responsibility can fall on that nose tackle.
A ton of responsibility, no pun intended, because they got to deal with not just the center, both guards, and a lot of times they have to eat up double teams in order to let the rest of the guys get to the football. But how about that play? He not only did he eat up the double team, he ate up the ball carrier as well.
I was going to say, talking about puns, you said eat up the double team. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Now let's go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he can't hang on. That would have been a big interception down here in field goal range. But instead, now they'll get a shot at 3. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
So 3rd and 5, 3rd and medium here. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. Hogan now. Got to throw right sideline is complete. 18 yards there and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Time to step aside. Back to Heinz Field after this.
No. Check. Patriots. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 5. Now Hogan out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. That'll make it 4th down after all. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Yards on the punt there. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
Offense working with a 3rd and 13 still left. Now back to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Five wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. Looking to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Deep drop, and he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So a big sack on 2nd down. Now let's see what the offense has in store for 3rd.
All right, here we go. All right, now, look at 56. Look.
They're going to look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Steps away to his left. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
Really tough drive, but that run help salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
They come out here in the eye. They run with the fullback Nix. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, partner, but on 2nd and inches, a lot of the times I'm leery about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a 1st down.
Here we go now.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 26 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good for a Pittsburgh first. The give is to Bell. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Give them 18 on that one. And it's good enough for a Pittsburgh 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, He's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Here we go now.
They'll set up a throw. And he fires one incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Here we go. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
It's a 4-receiver look to the right side. Play clock winding down. He'll look to throw. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Here we go. Leopard.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
4 yards remaining now on second down.
Now let's go.
And they'll run it here. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Leopard. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
Hogan now. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
This is taken at about the 14. A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Second down following the run.
Watch it now, Barney.
They come out here in the eye. Again, it's Bell. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I remember playing, and from a safety's perspective, when you saw a toss play and trying to see guys get to the edge and get outside, that was always a tough moment because where do you go to pick up the ball carrier? If they seal the edge and seal the perimeter, they're going to bounce that outside. It's a lot longer run, and you've got to make sure your angle is right because once they get to the edge, they're going to pick up good yardage. Your job now is to make sure they don't go all the way for a touchdown. You have to become an excellent tackler against a lot of bodies out leading a runner. And on this play, the defenders were finally able to rally to the ball after a big pickup of yardage and herd him out of bounds.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And got his tight end, Duarte. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Bryant, the lone receiver, left.
Detroit!
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
Here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This is brought in by Hardy. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Give him 14 on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Ooh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Now he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. Back to throw again. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now Hogan. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Give him 8 on the play, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. Hogan now. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
Bryant, the lone receiver, left. They go back to the air here after the INT. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now, let's go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision. There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, balls out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a coach.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. This one to the sideline. He's got it. A nice job to keep the feet in, but he is a bit short here of a first down. Now this offense ready to take over again. Now they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I've yet to meet a wide receiver who likes to block more than catching the football. But the best ones understand that that's how they'll actually get more passes thrown to them if they help in the run game. And anytime you get a run of that yardage, that means the wide receivers did help. They get down to what a lot of people call the second level, the linebackers, or the third level where the defensive backs are, and they get out in front and put their bodies out there and create more space for their runners to gain the yardage.
They come out here in the eye, and he'll give it here to his running back. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
He cuts out left sideline. A little room now. Touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. So they went to the ground game on third, hoping to pick up the first. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, third down. They don't care that it's third and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call a running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up because I haven't met offensive linemen yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
Now let's go!
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he's got room. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. 3 yards to go on second down. They come out here in the eye. They'll go again with Bell. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment. And to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. So 2nd and 10 here. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game. They want to keep it going.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well.